All right, y'all. So the bullshit continues. So the IBFS came out today. They issued a ruling regarding the Indongo and Lipinets situation. They've ruled that Indongo must face Lipinets, which is his mandatory challenger. So they've went ahead and ordered the fight. They will not allow Indongo to pursue a unification bout with Terence Crawford if he got past Felix Diaz. Okay, it says here, according to article on Boxing Scene, this is a statement from the IBF. They said here, quote, Indongo is obligated to hold his next fight against Lipinets. Both parties were notified to start negotiations process now and then everything will depend on the promotional process, which will take up to 3 to 4.5 months. Also, we do not exclude the possibility of a purse bid. So in other words, if they can't come, there will be a deadline that will take place. And if they can't come to an agreement, a purse bid will be put up. Obviously, Al Heyman will win that purse bid because Sergey Lipinets, is an Al Heyman fighter. Oh, boy. It also says here that Indongo will not be able to hold a unification bout, which I've stated. He has a mandatory obligation. He was ordered to carry out on a mandatory defense. As for Crawford, he has a fight coming up very soon, according to a statement by the IBF, from the IBF to Basal Ginoff. So the IBF does not allow step-aside deals, which I've already stated that in my previous video. Even if Indongo tries to pursue a unification bout with Crawford, the IBF will not sanction the fight. So, that's an interesting note. So, if Indongo does decide to pursue a unification bout with Crawford, the IBF won't sanction it. So if he were to go in and fight and loses the fight, Crawford won't gain the IBF title, and Indongo will still keep it until he satisfies his mandatory obligation. Well, that's very interesting. Wow. All I gotta say is, this is bullshit. Plain and simple. It's bullshit, man. Again, in my previous videos, I don't have no problem with these mandatories coming out, trying to enforce their mandatory status against the champions, but the timing of it is not where it needs to be. Nobody wants to see these champions, Indongo and Crawford, fight their mandatories. I know Amon is going to enforce his mandatory status against Crawford after the Diaz fight, which makes things more complicating. I just really think, and Dream Chaser had brought up a good point. Shout out to him, by the way, and shout out to Blood Boxing. These mandatories need to start fighting more top-tier competition if they want to gain notoriety, to be honest with you. Again, I have no problem with them trying to enforce their mandatory obligation. They fought to gain that status, but at the same time, us fans are the ones who are demanding certain fights, okay? And this right here, Indongo and Crawford, that's the fight that everyone wants to see. That's what the public demands. That's what needs to be made. So, shit, man. I don't curse a lot in my videos, but this is bullshit. Straight up bullshit. But then again, you know what? I'm going to be consistent. I feel that Julius should go ahead and carry out the mandatory defense. Get it out the way. I feel that he will beat Lipinets. It won't be an easy fight because Lipinets is a very dangerous fighter. But at the same time, Lipinets is very, very vulnerable. He gets hit a lot. Doesn't have no upper lateral movement. And so he could be a target practice for Indongo. But he is pretty strong. So we'll see how this plays out. So let me know what your thoughts about this. Do you think that Indongo should go ahead and carry out his mandatory obligation, or you think he should go ahead and just vacate his belt, which I don't think he should do, and pursue a unification bout with Crawford instead? Just let me know what your thoughts about this. I'm out. Peace.